The closest thing to a human being is a book, all right? I know people think it's a dog, but they're wrong. So to write a book is the closest thing to being a god. You're creating this thing. So when you look at manuscripts or letters and they're written in the hand of the writer, you are closer to that writer. You're closer to the person. I'm Fran Lebowitz, and I'm here to look at letters and manuscripts in the Morgan Library. This is a letter from Oscar Wilde to a man whose name appears to be Brynolf Clegg. It's a fan letter, but he wants to know why Oscar Wilde said that art has to be useless, which is completely true. He replied, "My dear sir, art is useless because its aim is simply to create a mood. It is not meant to instruct or to influence action in any way. If the contemplation of a work of art is followed by activity of any kind, the work is either of a very second-rate order or the spectator has failed to realize the complete artistic impression." So people should they should make a t-shirt out of this, since that seems to be most people's reading material. It's the purity of it. Everything else is useful, or meant to be, useful in some way. But it would be interesting to know why he replied to this guy, because maybe this guy was someone that he thought was important enough, because it's pretty elaborate. And also the reply is almost like an essay. Maybe everything he wrote was like that, but I doubt it. But I mean, this is part of his work. This is the manuscript to the picture of Dorian Gray. The thing that really astonished me about this was how little work there is on this. The reason that I like to look at manuscripts is to see the work, the mistakes. So the first time I saw this, sometime in the 70s, I told Toni Morrison, "You have to go see this because there's almost no work on this. It's really shocking." And she said, "You're wrong. It must be a fair copy," which was what they did before it went to the printer. They copied it over so that the printer could read it. And so I asked, and they said, "No, it's not a fair copy." So she was pretty distraught over this. Many writers labor, or did, to appear effortless, because you can't work wit. Wit is not a product of effort. It just isn't. So, I mean, it's not only wit, his work, but it is wit, which most things are not. But I would tell you that the first time I touched the actual page, it was like electricity went through me. It was really thrilling to touch the exact same thing that he touched, because he is one of my favorite writers. There are books and books of Twain's letters. He was the most popular writer in the country, this country, which is the United States, in case you don't know where you are. He was something that I cannot think of another writer this has ever been true of in this country. He was the most commercially successful writer and a great writer. Anything great has an effect on people, even if they don't know it. These are great artists. Great artists. That's why I like these writers, because they're great. Everyone should like these writers. I mean, I insist that everyone should like these writers, and they're banned all the time, especially Twain. I think that Mark Twain would not be flabbergasted by the tremendous, endless effort to ban his books. He might even be happy a little bit by it. But truthfully, the people who ban books have never read one, and so they should not be allowed to ban them. It would be as if I banned skis, okay, since I know nothing about skiing. He's writing to his editor why he hasn't finished the book he's working on. He's whacking away at it. Okay?
And what book was that?
Huckleberry Finn, okay? So, I mean, keep working on it, okay? Editors hear these excuses all the time. But there are like 1 million editors and one Mark Twain, okay? There are 1 million books finished or not finished, or millions, and they're not Huckleberry Finn. The Morgan Library is, I know it's called now the Morgan Library Museum, but truthfully, it's a treasure house. There are a lot of very, very fancy houses in New York now, a lot, okay? But let me assure you, there's nothing in them like this. There's two kinds of people in New York. The kind of people who have room for books and the kind of people who have books. And they're never the same people, except for here. So, I mean, to have it right in the middle of town, right here. I mean, this is just one of the great things about New York. I mean, what could be more New York than that? There's a bus stop in front, and inside is this.